Hi, coming from planet Earth from San Francisco, California. Today we're going to talk about a country in Southeast Asia called Burma, known as Myanmar today. I came to the United States in 1980 when I was 9 years old, all the way across the Pacific from a region known as Southeast Asia. And today we're talking about this part of the world because it's vital for transportation of goods and services from China to the Indian Ocean, for goods and services in Europe and through the Middle East. Source from radiofreeasia.org. The bottom line here is that China has national interest in Myanmar. The Chinese government's massive undertaking includes the building of new roads, railway lines, and ports in the Pacific and Indian Ocean, and the construction of oil and gas pipelines to Russia, Kazakhstan, and Myanmar, with the investment in infrastructure projects totaling more than $1 trillion. Ambassador Han Lian monitors the ceasefire agreement in Myanmar. The reason why we're talking about this country is because it's important and vital for transportation for goods and services in the Middle East and the doorway to Europe. As you can see, instead of going between Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, through the Straits of Malacca to Andaman Sea and into the Bay of Bengal, it's more efficient to transport goods and services from China through Burma. As a former British colony, Burma already has a seaport in Dawei and Rangoon, and Bangladesh has a seaport in Chittagong, where it's an area close to where there are current issues with the Rohingya people. Today we have David Eubanks with the Free Burma Ranger, who has spent the last 20 years in Burma as a Christian missionary.
All right. Okay. Hello, David, Mr. Eubank.
Hello.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you perfect. Can you hear us?
I can.
Good. Thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. Just wanted to get an update right now. I guess some of the question people had was the situation in the Karen Burma-Thai border with regards to in the Karen state specifically. What is your observation over there right now?
Well, first of all, thanks. And thank you to all the Karen here in America and around the world who keep praying for your people, keep helping your people, help us. You know, we raised our kids in Burma and Karen state, and they would not be alive except for the Karen people. It's been a long struggle, almost 70 years of civil war, and the Karen have not given up, and you have not been defeated. Right now, as you know, there's a ceasefire. However, the Burma army, any way they can, is eroding the ceasefire. This year, there was major attacks in Lurbupa, northern Mutra district of 5th Brigade, Karen State, displacing over 2,500 people. Now, those people mostly have been able to go home because of the rains, and the Burma army stopped the road construction. But the Burma army said they're just postponing the road construction. They're going to come again. And so I think people feel, especially in northern Karen State, that the ceasefire is very fragile, very fragile. And so my prayer is that the Karen leadership stands firm against Burma army attacks and keeps negotiating. Other parts of Karen State, there's not fighting right now. There's a lot of tension in 6th Brigade and 7th Brigade because there's so many different factions. But right now, the main danger is in 5th Brigade, northern Karen State. Simultaneously, as you know, the Burma army have not stopped attacking the Kachin or the Taang and Shan states, and of course, keep oppressing the Rohingya way out to the west.
Can you add a little bit more also to how the other ethnic nationalities are being treated right now, in addition to what you discussed? Maybe elaborate a little bit more on the Rohingyas and the Kachin states.
Yes. In Rohingya, over 750,000 people have been chased out of their homes. That adds to the over 300,000 already in Bangladesh. Over 1 million people displaced in Bangladesh. Some Rohingya, about 300,000 to 400,000, are still in Burma, but most of them have no citizenship. Some of them are living in concentration camps, very little freedom. I talked to one Rohingya leader. I said, "What do you want?" He said, "We don't even need autonomy or independence or even our own rights like the Karen could have. We just want to be citizens of this country, just that much citizens." But so far, the Burma government has decided not to give the Rohingya citizenship, not recognize them as being part of Burma. And so the oppression is going on, and the Burma government has not resettled any large numbers of Rohingya. And the Rohingya people have said, we dare not go back. If we can't even be a citizen, anything can happen to us. Our women can be raped, we can be murdered. So the situation has not improved at all in Western Burma. In Karen State, as I was saying, there's ongoing tension as the Burma army, they have a ceasefire, but it's not a ceasefire of the heart. It means they haven't said they're sorry for killing Karen or that they apologize for burning over 3,000 villages. It's a ceasefire of the brain, meaning how can we maneuver the Karen into a position of weakness? This is what I believe. And I think it's good to have a ceasefire. It's good to keep negotiating, but it's a matter of the brain, not the heart. And the Karen people know that finally the heart has to be there too. We have to be treated with love and respect. So I appreciate the Karen leaders trying to find this with the Burma army. Up north in northern Shan State, the Burma army's been relentlessly attacking the Ta'ang people who are up in northern Shan State. There was last month, for example, 6 Ta'ang medics, women medics, gunned down. We just sent a report out of that. One lady's top of her head blown off as they were trying to give medical help to IDPs and other Ta'ang people in northern Shan State. And that fighting is going on. In Kachin State, fighting is going on in 5 different areas at once. And this is the Burma army continuing to pound the Kachin. So 2 months ago, there's 4,500 new IDPs, along with over 100,000 IDPs that are there. So the situation has not improved in northern Kachin State. A few months ago, the Burma army murdered some Karenni. Even though they're in the middle of a ceasefire negotiation, they murdered some Karenni, and there was no apology, no nothing about it. So what I see is that the Burma government hasn't changed that much. The army is still in charge. And so to me, we have to keep praying for them. We have to stand firm when they do wrong things, and we have to love each other and stay united.
Have you seen any type of coordination over there between the ethnic nationalities?
Yes, there are different groupings trying to find ways to negotiate together for a united front as they negotiate with the Burma army. But the unity is probably less than it was before. 10, 15 years ago, there was a National Democratic Front that most of the ethnic groups belong to. Now it's really separated into much smaller blocks, and that's a major weak point.
With regard to Karen unity, obviously there are a lot of organizations throughout the United States and throughout the world, especially in Australia, Canada, also in addition to the United States. What's your opinion with Karen's siding with the NCA and also Karen siding with a non-NCA?
Well, my opinion is wrapped up in my love and respect for the Karen leaders. I've known them, many of them, before they were in these leadership positions. They've been my friends for over 20 years. And so I love them and respect them and try to support them every way I can. My opinion within that is that the KNU should sign with everyone else. And they should not sign an NCA until the majority of ethnic groups sign together. I think there's no rush. There's no reason to rush into a signing. If the Burma army is sincere in wanting peace, peace means not just lack of fighting, it means justice. It means mutual respect. It means compromise. It means both of us willing to say we were wrong. It means building trust and reconciliation. So you can't rush any of those things. And we need to do it together, not just the strong, but to bringing the weak. So my opinion is the final ceasefire should not be signed by the KNU until at least most of the ethnic groups agree together.
Thank you, David. And also, what do you suggest Karens internationally should do to make a difference?
I think pray, number one. Number two, speak to your government representatives and remind them that the Burma army still really controls Burma and that human rights violations continue, attacks against the ethnics continue, and that the ceasefires, while we should support them and we should promote them, we have to realize they're not coming from a place of love or respect. They're a tool the Burma army is trying to use to crush the ethnics. So it doesn't mean they're bad. You just have to know the motives of what they're trying to do. And so we need the international community, or if you're a U.S. citizen, talk to your government and say, keep encouraging the Burma army to stop attacking the ethnic people. At the same time, our government could provide direct humanitarian assistance to the KNU. to feed people, to give medical care in the conflict areas. We could do that. That's one way that the International Korean could help. Another way is going to the border areas and going back into Korean state, volunteering in any sector that you feel led to, in government, as a teacher, even just going to see what's going on and encourage people. Maybe you hand out some presents or money and pray with them and come back and tell their story. That's another way that you can help. Asking to meet the KNU leaders, to encourage them, to listen to their side, see how you can help them. That's another way. Asking to meet the governments that surround Burma, the Thai government, the Indian government, who are very interested in what goes on in Burma. Ask to meet them and see how they can help. So these are some different ways.
Sharing your story. I know we met a couple weeks ago with regards to the Free Burma Rangers. What can we do, the Korean community internationally, also do to help you share your story? Tell us a little bit about that, the documentary.
Right. It's our story. It's the story of the Koran and us and God and other people. It would not be a story without the Koran. You and your people helped me to learn how to love and not be afraid. Helped me learn a deeper way of following Jesus. And what we want to do is finish this. You know, the movie requires the right idea and the right script, which my friends are working on. So prayer for that. Requires more funding to do it properly. And once it goes out, that people would watch it and encourage their friends to watch it. If it's a lousy movie, we'll tell you don't watch it. But we're praying it's going to be something that, one, gives glory to God, two, encourages people in their own lives to take actions based on love and courage, and three, to help people around the world see with new eyes people like the Koran, and also people, Arabs in Iraq and Syria. These are real people. They're lovely people. They're not our enemies. They're not so far and so strange. They're just like us. And in fact, in some ways, we can learn so much from them. And so we hope people come out of this movie loving God, loving each other, and loving people like the Korean who are far away from most Americans.
David, thank you for your words of encouragement and also your insight, what's going on out there. See if anybody has any more questions out there. How about with regards to the situation right now is that it looks like there was meeting in the beginning of August to make a plan to send back all the refugees on the border back. Maybe there's not as much funding as there was before. Have you seen anything about that?
Well, I'm not sure the status of those meetings, but I feel that no one should be forced to go back, and that one way to force people is not to give them food. It's not to give them the quality of help that they need. There's plenty of donors in the world that want to help people. And so I think my appeal, and this is something the international Korean community can do, is to the different governments around there, the donor governments, the host governments, let these people go back when they want to go back. Don't reduce the quality of care and education and services, because Burma has not changed that much yet. There are some positive changes, but the military is still in charge. There has been no Truth and Reconciliation Committee. There's been no apologies and attempts to understand each other. There's been gamesmanship and maneuvering against ethnic peoples, whether it's at the negotiating table or with guns. And so until Burma changes more and there's incentive to go back, the people who fled Burma need safe places to live, and not just live and survive, but thrive, go to school, learn a trade. So I hope that the international community can help countries like Thailand, who've done a great job of hosting the Koran, to help them keep hosting them.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much. We've taken a lot of your time, I think, away from your family. Have a great weekend, and God bless. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share with us.
Well, thank you, Cliff and Ken, and all the Buck Steve and all my Buck and y'all friends. To Kevin LaChapelle, good Kalawa friend, and I'll say in very poor Korean, but from my heart, Ye'edo na, Ye'edo kasayawa, showa, heta lokela, heta bitava, heta table. Na yesukita mi, amin. Kasayawa, shoge na, dablu doma, tauapa.
Dablu mo kasayo kasi
Dablu,
na po
kasayo shoge.
po naman na pakala kasi. All right, God bless. Thank you.
Dablu,
Take care.
thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you for your time again, and God bless, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.